you have posted in the WhatsApp chat and the questions that you have sent me privately. And before starting the discussion, let us remind ourselves about all the meritorious deeds that we have done during this life and also in the previous lives. So all the meritorious power that we have generated may agglomerate together, creating the perfect environment for everyone to understand Supreme Dhamma, complete the or open up the eyes of wisdom, and complete the Aryapathe, attaining the supreme bliss of Nibbana. With that thought in mind, accept this blessing with the sadhukara.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And also, since we have been dealing with Buddha Sasanas during the Sansari journey, we might have done various unwholesome acts towards Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and Arya individuals. And because of that, we might have generated negative powers or unmeritorious deeds or sinful deeds or powers that might obliterate this understanding. And in this moment, let us acknowledge our faults. Let us understand that 10 unwholesome acts are wrong, and if we have done something against Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, let us acknowledge these faults and determine that we are not going to do those kinds of wrong things, unwholesome acts again towards Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and also to any living or any sentient being in the universe. With that determination in the mind, accept this with the sadhukara.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And today we have got mainly two questions, and I'll read the first one out. And the first one goes as if you don't mind, could you explain the relationship between Cittaja Rupa and Nama-rupa? So that's the question. So I'll share the screen and it will be easier to explain this. This is a kind of a technical question and directly does not involve the understanding that is needed for us to attain Nibbana, but these are interesting questions. It is good to know these things, but you should not go beyond uh, the necessary or beyond the excitement for these types of questions should not be very high, because if that happens, you would be roaming around in the realm of Dhamma, but that also is a part of world. So if we are going to get out of this world, or if we are going to attain Nibbana, we have to know that this all the parts of the world is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So there's nothing good coming from the any Dhamma. Sabbe Dhamma anattati, including Buddha Dhamma. But it is very valuable since we are in this mess. So when we get out of this mess, we have to understand after Anagami state, the Dhamma also is seen as a hindrance to the last result. So the Cittaja Rupa. Now there are three types of Rupa. You know the three types of bodies, four types of bodies. Ekaja Kaya, Dvija Kaya, Trija Kaya, and Chatuja Kaya. Ekaja Kaya is the karmic body. Then there's this karmic body, and there's the Utuja body, And the mental body, we can say, or the Cittaja kaya, and the last one is the Karaja kaya. Oh, Karaja kaya. That is the body made of Apo, Tejo, Vayo, and Patavi, Dhatu. This is the final coating, and these are actually very fine. Bodies of Brahmas are made of the first three, and when it comes to the lower realms below Brahma, the other deities and humans have the dense bodies, and gods have the finer bodies, but both made of Karajakaya. That's why they need to take the elixir, the Amurta. So this elixir is actually taken to maintain these bodies. So some deities take take the smell as their food, or it is what maintains their body. The smell of flowers, smell of roots, smell of various kinds of trees, maybe sandalwood, maybe other pleasant smelling aromatic substances. They have their meal from that, because they have finer bodies. The particles, or the particle natured food is enough for them. So our topic is mental, or the Cittaja Rupa. So the thing is, everything that we see and that we feel are made due to our mental or Cittaja actions, mental actions. So because of avidya, we have this need, or we have this craving for survival. We have this need for seeing objects. We like to see objects, we want to see objects, and we are pursuing after images. We are pursuing after sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and thoughts. And that is what we call raga. And this raga is there. Because of that, dvesha is occurring, because not everything is not going to go as planned. Because of that, the conflict in the mind would occur. That would be creating rage and anger. And all of this is because that you think that this world is valuable. So that is a kind of a moha. And because of raga, dvesa, moha, this world come to existence. So when we think, out of whatever reason, we have this when the mind is generated, there's a most of the time there's a attachment to the future. So when somebody is doing some good thing, let's say you are giving an alms, you are offering alms, you are having alms giving. At that alms giving, if you don't know about this reality, you would be attaching somewhere. I may get massively because of this alms giving. I may be reborn in a realm of bliss, Brahma, or deities, because of this alms giving, because of the meritorious deeds, the meritorious power that are generated from these alms. So that would be one's idea, one's expectation. And when you do bad things, when you kill somebody, when you hurt somebody, we are doing it to achieve something. By killing somebody, you may say, may I live in peace, because this person is hurting me a lot. So that's why I am going to end his life, end his or her life, so that I can live peacefully. So that is also attached with the future. You have a expectation. That's why you are doing it. So likewise, when you are doing good or when you are doing bad, you have an expectation. This is where the avidya is. And when avidya is there, avijja is there, so when you perform things, you create a karmic energy. So if you can remember the chitta viti, so there's the bhavanga chitta, then atita bhavanga chalana, bhavanga upachedaka, panchadravarjana, then the chakku vinyana, if it is coming from the eyes, then sampatichana santirana, then there's this Vattapana. After that, there are 7 javanas. Javana. Likewise, there are 7 javana, and then 2 tadarambana, and then again this what do you call this bhavanga chitta udaka. So in this 7 javana, there's this power. Oh, you are generating karmic energy. If it was created with avidya, that has power. That creates a karmic energy. And that is what, if you can remember the last discussion, when you die, so if I write down this briefly, there's this bhavanga chitta like this that occurs all the time if nothing is occurring until you attain nibbana. This would occur not in the realm of arupa brahma. In the arupa realm, this would stop. Otherwise, if you are in nirodha samapatti, this would stop. Otherwise, it is happening all the time, even if you are in sleep. Bhavanga chitta. So bhavanga chitta would come to atita bhavanga, then bhavanga chalana, then bhavanga upachedaka, then panchadravarjana, then chakku vinyana, then there's the sampatichana, santirana, then the vattapana is there, and then 7 javanas, and 2 tadarambanas, and again bhavanga chitta udaka.
Sorry, Thero, I can't listen to your song well.
Terosana අපේ හැමතේ ඔබ වහන්සේ මියුට් වෙලා වගේ පේන්නේ. Now can hear Thero.
Now can you hear me?
Yes, now can hear. I think a minute or two would have got disrupted.
Okay. So I was telling about bhavanga chitta and this chitta viti, and was that heard?
To me, the early part, but I think there was another participant who said that they were not able to hear Thero. So maybe you can move back a little bit if you don't, if you can, and maybe explain.
Yes. So so again, when so we were starting with the bhavanga, this chitta viti. So chitta viti, when something is coming to your mind, so this is not the full chitta viti, because after this panchadwara chitta viti, again there are 3 manodwara chitta viti as well. So we are not going to discuss that. We are just getting this part only to express and only to highlight one point. So we start with bhavanga chitta. We have discussed this in the last discussion. So this bhavanga chitta is there all the time until you attain nibbana, except in 2 places. One is when if you get into the realm of arupa brahma, this would stop. And if you attain the nirodha samapatti, again this would stop. Otherwise, even if you are in sleep, even if you are if you have lost your consciousness, whatever the thing is, this would still occur. So the bhavanga chitta would occur, and let's say you are seeing an image. So atita bhavanga, bhavanga chalana, bhavanga upachedaka, panchadhavarjana would occur. And at that point, chakku vinyana, because you are seeing something, and then it would be it would be appreciated, or it would be taken in santirana and sampatichana, and you would decide on it, what is it, and you would understand what is it by santirana, and you would decide how to act on that in Vattapana. And depending on the viewpoint, whether it is Samaditi, whether it is Michaditi, whether it's Laukika or Lokotra, whatever it is, you would decide on what to do next. That is where the karmic energy is generated. Karmic energy is generated like this. First Javana, second Javana, third Javana, fourth Javana, fifth Javana, sixth Javana, seventh Javana. So at the seventh, sixth, and seventh, what we call Chuti and Patisandhi would occur. If this is the last minute or last second, millisecond of your life, and if this is the last Chitta Viti, this is where your karmic body or karmic body would end, because Karmaja Rupa, generation of Karmaja Rupa would end here, and generation of again another karmic body would occur. So yes, your Karaja body would be there. That's why others would see your body your dead body in the floor or somewhere, because Karaja body can be seen. It is not going to deteriorate that fast. It would be there. It would take months and maybe a few months to deteriorate. But your karmic body, as soon as it is generated, it deteriorates. Your mental body is also like that. Your Utuja body is different. Now we'll discuss these things. So at this point you die and your karmic body is generated. Let's say this karmic body is comprised of Kaya Dasaka. This is the whole karmic body. Kaya Dasaka. Then there's the Vastu Dasaka. Then there's the Bhava Dasaka. These are generated initially, and then following after that, Chakku Dasaka, Sota Dasaka, Ghana Dasaka, Jivha Dasaka would occur. These seven Dasaka would occur. That is 7 Suddhastaka. So this is the karmic body. So if you had human life, if the Vattapana was human, or the decision was a human decision, creating a human power, that Kaya would be human. Then the Vasturupa would be human. Bhava would be a Manusa Bhava, or a human Bhava. And the eyes or Chakku at that point would be with a human nature. Sota, Gana, and Jivha would be of human nature. As soon as these things are created, this is now, I would give you a analogy to explain this. So let's say you have this ice making apparatus in your house. So you have 6 containers, or eight holes in this box, and you are going to put water in each one of them and put it in the deep freezer. So when you put that in the deep freezer, you get ice, 8 ice cubes. So to generate more ice, you need to put this ice into another container. So as soon as these ice are put to another container, they start melting. But still you can see it, but it is melting. This is deterioration. Or we call it jara. So this is the karmic rupa. The karmic body is a creation of karmic rupa. These are connected. The karmic rupa is what we see as karmic body. So this is rupa kalapa. Suddhastaka, we call them rupa kalapa. So in this rupa kalapa, this body comprised of 7 rupa kalapas, and these are made of karmic energy. That's why we say they are karmic rupa. So when you generate these 8 karmic rupa, they exceed the karmic realm and goes into the Utuja realm. Utuja Rupa. These become Utuja Rupa. These are generated and released. Generated and released. This happen all the time. When the Chittakshana or there are 17 Chittakshana for a Rupa Kalapa, and at this 17 Chittakshana, this would be generated and released. I am not quite sure about this. I'll search and tell you. So again, the other part is right. So this karmic rupa are generated and then released, and this after, as soon as it is released, the Utuja rupa are created, and these Utuja rupa, the nature of Utuja rupa are they are subjected to Viparinama Lakkana. Viparinama Lakkana is the Viparinama nature, characteristic. So it is seen. So this is how the karmic rupa occurs. So as soon as the Vastu rupa is created, that is where mind occurs. So when the Vastu rupa is created, when Dhamma collides or Dhamma comes to your Vastu rupa, that is where the mental body is created. Again, another box like this. So your mental body is actually comprised of Chitta Rupa. Chitta Rupa creates the mental body. Just like the karmic body, mental body is a product of Chitta Rupa. So depending on what things comes to your mind, how you act upon them, what do you do to that initial Dhamma with avidya? So whatever the thing comes, if it is even if it is Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, or Kaya, this has to go through the Vastu Dasaka, because you cannot think with Chakku. It has to come to your mind to understand that you are seeing something. When you get conscious about something, that is when Vastu Rupa is active, not the Chakku. Chakku is just a door to let things in, let the colors in. Sota is a door that lets waves or we can say oscillations, vibrations in. Gana is a door that allows the smell to get in so that Vastu Rupa can know, or the mind can know what is in the outside world. Again, that is the same for Jivha and Kaya as well. So at that point, when the Vastu Rupa is created, again a set of ice cubes are generated. As soon as they are generated, again goes into this box and starts deteriorating. And again, since this is empty, so then that is the room for the next thought or next mental body. And so you can understand it is a cascade of rupa that in karmic body or karmic rupa as well as Cittaja Rupa. It's a cascade. And as soon as they are created, they become the Utuja body. And Utuja body is deteriorating Right now also it is deteriorating. So let's say you are disciplining your eye, and you are disciplining your ear, nose, tongue, body, and your mind. You are disciplining these things. What is that? What does that mean? So you are, when chakku, or when your eye is initially, before understanding this Dhamma, you did not know what to discipline, how to discipline. So you are seeing everything that it encounters. So for Sota also, it's the same. You are hearing all the things that it hears. So, and you are listening to them, actively listening to them. Not just hearing, but you are actively going after that. Not just seeing, but you are actively looking at them. Again, that is the same for nose, tongue, and body. You are actively going after them. When you do that, you are letting in things that comes to your Vastu-rupa, and at this Vastu-rupa, you create these mindsets or minds with avidya. So you change, or you alter the normal nature of these items, and which with avidya you change it, and you try to get the gratification from these items. When you do that, what happens? As soon as they are created, they are released, and they are around and inside your body. So if you act up with lobha, dosa, moha, raga, dosa, moha, what happens? These are created at that point with your utuja, or mental body, or chittaja, rupa, are created and released. And these are what is covering up your body. Let's say this is not there in the Tripitaka, but let's say delusion is, or moha is blue, and raga is yellow, and dvesha is red. And those are the basic three colors. When they combine together, the color is black. When you act with raga, dosa, moha, there's a whole black energy, black rays are covering your body. That is what creates the what do you call, the utuja body. But your original body, which is karmic body, is human. Human is a blissful realm. That is the lowest blissful realm, but that is blissful. Again, godly realms and Brahma realms are blissful. But this blissful body, which is original body, the nature of the original body is covered up with a whole lot of garbage, or whole lot of raga, dvesha, moha. Because of that, that becomes black, and our original nature is not revealed to the external world. So that's why when you do dhyana, that external body, or that utuja body is cleared up, because you are releasing some good things. You are creating some good eyes, and that is what comes into this bin, which is the utuja rupa. These utuja rupa, the old ones, would get deteriorated after some time, and again what you create are opposite to what you have already created. Because if you are creating vitaragi, vitadosi, vitamohi things, that is the opposite of raga, dvesa, moha. So opposite things, fire and ice cannot last together. They destroy each other, and the ice would evaporate. And if you hold on for a considerable time, that would be filled with the other vitaragi, vitadosi, vitamohi qualities, or rupa, and your body would again start to glow up. Not black, now it is like a bright light. So that is why in the fourth jhana, if you know, the mental body becomes white, and it becomes like a tube light, a big tube light of the size of your body. it becomes so bright, it is like a LED light. So that is the nature that it would occupy, or your mental body. This is called Manokaya. Manokaya is actually a combination of these three bodies, Manokaya. And this Manokaya is what you can get out of this body and you can roam around. It is called Irdi Pratihara, Irdi. So, Manomaya Irdi. So, when you have this Manomaya Irdi, you can move around, float around, hear from the eyes of the Manokaya, because everything that is needed, the Sota Dasaka Kalapi is in there. So you can hear. This vessel, or this Karajakaya would be there on the outside, but you are roaming around with your Manokaya. So these Manomekaya. So these are actually so this is the correlation between Cittaja Rupa and Karma Rupa, Karmaja Rupa it is called, and Utuja Rupa. These actually creates this karmic body, Utuja body, and mental body. And that is, I hope, and was that the question, and did I answer the question? And again, Nama-rupa. So we have to go through Nama-rupa. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, Thero, you're audible. There is also a maybe a following message might come, Thero, but there is a short message already received, but maybe there is a follow-up to it later on.
Okay. So again, we see what Nama-rupa is. So this is Cittaja Rupa. So Cittaja Rupa and Nama-rupa, these systems are different from one another. You can see a correlation, but Nama-rupa, you cannot simplify it into something. This is only Nama-rupa. Because Nama-rupa has, the word Nama-rupa has many meanings. The name is sometimes said as Nama, and the object or the shape of the object is said as the Rupa, which is, let's say there's a cup, and the name is, Nama is cup, which is the CUP cup, and the Rupa is the appearance of it. You see a white round cup, and that is the Rupa. And the name given to that Rupa is called the Nama. That in some contexts, that is Nama-rupa. In other contexts, Nama is the Vedana Sanya Sankara Vijnana, and Rupa is the Rupa. So the five aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana is divided into two parts. Rupa is Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara is Nama. And again, there's another explanation as Nama means we can say the shape it gets. Let's say there's a cup, and the shape of the cup is the Nama, and the original cup, or the physical nature of the cup is the Rupa. So it is very easy when we take a analogy. So let's say there's a big chunk of clay. So this chunk of clay is not a cup, but you can create a cup with it. So Nama is the shape. What you do is you take a piece of clay from the big chunk, and you get you with your hand, you are creating the shape of the cup. Now that shape is Nama, and what is created of that shape is the cup, which is Rupa. And that is another explanation of Nama-rupa. So there are various explanations for Nama-rupa. Maybe there are more. I only explained few. So the important idea with Cittaja, important fact or important correlation between Cittaja Rupa and this Nama-rupa are Chitta, when something which is when something is occurring in your mind, which is chitta, that already has rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vinyana. So that is again can be said as nama-rupa, because at that point in the chittaja body or chittaja rupa also is the rupa, chittaja rupa. Now the rupa part of that is rupa, but there, since it is chittaja, you can feel it and recognize it, and you are conscious about it. And there should be a sankhara as well, otherwise this would not occur. So you have vedana, sanya, sankhara, and vijnana along with this rupa. So that is, we can say, with chittaja rupa, since it is chittaja, you have all the 5 components. So that means you have nama-rupa. So that is a connection between Cittaja Rupa and Nama-rupa. What is Cittaja Rupa? When Cittaja Rupa occurs, all the Nama also occurring because it is Cittaja. So that is all the Nama-rupa is created at that point. So there is the connection between Nama-rupa and Cittaja Rupa. As I understand it, there may be more sophisticated connections between Cittaja Rupa and Nama-rupa, which I don't know of, but this might not be the full explanation of it. But according to my understanding, this is how I see Cittaja Rupa and Nama-rupa, the connection. So I hope but you don't need to compare these two, because these two are two different entities. If you have compared Karmaja Rupa, Cittaja Rupa, and Uttuja Rupa, that is the same hierarchy, or that is the same group, that is okay. But when you apply Nama Rupa to this, that becomes complicated, and because you are trying to bring two systems together, and when you do that, since we don't have the understanding of a supreme Buddha, we can get into wrong understandings and interpretations. So that's why sometimes it could be dangerous when we are explaining these kinds of things. So as I understand, this is the connection between Cittaja Rupa and Nama-rupa. So I hope you understand. If there are any questions regarding this, let's see if there are questions.
Thero, there is a question on the chat which had come in, I think, in connection to what you explained.
Yeah. Nama-rupa, indicating our clinging to outer world, Rupa, based on our sun. Vachi Sankara. Is that Vachi Sankara? Yes, I think that's Vachi Sankara, depending on its frame. Nama-rupa. That actually Nama-rupa is not the clinging to the external world. Now, Nama-rupa is there even in an Arihat. Because if you are seeing something, you are getting that rupa, and you are getting the vedana of that, you are getting the idea, or you recognize that is sanya, and you create a sankara, otherwise this process would not occur, and you are conscious about it. It is there even in an Arihat. That is not the problem. When that is created, when you are conscious about an image, sound, smells, taste, or a touch, when that is taken as anicca sukata subha, or when then that is taken as valuable, that is where our clinging would occur. That is what is called avidya tanha. That is the clinging, tanha. You would get attached to it. That is tanha. And when the vijnana is created, it is not just the vachi sankara that is creating the Cittaja kaya. It is the mano sankara that is creating the Cittaja kaya. Now, vachi sankaya sankara, kaya sanchetana, kaya sankara. Vachi sanchetana, vachi sankara. Mano sanchetana, mano sankara. That is the explanation. So let's say kaya sanchetana, vachi sanchetana, mano sanchetana. This is kaya sankara. This is for a not for an arihat, but for others, because this is sanchetana, and this is a sanchetana, not just chitta and vachi and mano. So if you see here, it's all sanchetana in all three. So sanchetana means again raga dvesha moha. And in this raga dvesha moha, chetana, che means chitta, tana means creation or created. Chitta is created with raga dvesha moha. And see, even though these are kaya, these are vachi and mano, everything was created with chitta. If you don't have a mind, your body is useless. The karajakaya would lie just like a dead body. Your mouth would not work. So you have to have a chitta to operate this. So that is why it is called sanchetana. So when this sanchetana is created, whether with this kaya sankara, whether it is even though it is vachi sankara or mano sankara, regardless of whether it is kaya, vachi or mano, since it is coming with sanchetana, when the chetana is created, a chittaja rupa is created. So even when you are creating kaya sankara, chittaja rupa are created. Vachi sankara, chittaja rupa are created. Mano sankara, again chittaja rupa are created. That is the difference. So I hope that is clear. I did not share the screen.
No, Thero, I was going to ask, but I didn't want to disturb the flow.
Did you understand without the screen?
Might be better to repeat it, maybe, Thero. Sorry to.
Okay.
I wasn't
So-
sure whether you were reading the message and looking at it, or was using the screen. That's why I didn't want to mention. Apologies.
Okay. So this is what I explained. This is kaya sanchetana here kaya sanchetana, here vachi sanchetana, and here mano sanchetana. So kaya sanchetana is what is creating kaya sankara, and vachi sanchetana is what is creating vachi sankara, mano sanchetana is what is creating mano sankara. So in every part, all the three sankharas, you have sanchetana. So that is why I highlighted it, sanchetana. So sang means again raga dvesha moha here, che means chitta, tana means created. So you are creating something out of raga dvesha moha. If it is a kaya sankara, you call it kaya sanchetana. If it is vachi sankara, you call it vachi sanchetana, and if it is mano sankara, you call it mano sanchetana. And since the sanchetana is there in all the parts, that is created with chitta again. So when something is created with chitta, you have the Cittaja rupa. So regardless of whether you create kaya sankara, vachi sankara, or mano sankara, you are creating Cittaja rupa. If you are acting on something, you are creating Cittaja rupa. That would end. That would change if you create. So now these are kusala or akusala. So when you become punya papa pahinasa, that means when somebody becomes an arihat, the sanchetana is no more. So that becomes a kriya chitta called kriya chitta. And this kriya chitta does not have sang, raga dvesha moha. And the Cittaja rupa might be generated, but that does not have that black energy or black rays around it. And what is blacking or what is darkening the real or the pure chitta is the karmic energy. Karmic energy also has a part in that in there. That is why it is called. Even after becoming an arihat, you have to perform dhyana for sukha, for the sukha. You would still, even an arihat would still generate or create or attain into dhyanas. Would do dhyanas. That is the explanation. I hope that would clear the question.
I appreciate your teaching, Thero, again.
Okay. So we'll go for the second question. And the second question is, I was hesitating to ask this question. I wasn't able to listen to the sound. And I would like to listen to your teachings about Asmi, Mana, and Atta, and the relationship between Asmi, Mana, and Atta. And by any chance, is Atta a superordinate concept of Asmi, Mana? So, Atta and Anatta. So, Atta means essence, full of essence. Why do we call something essence, full of essence? Because if it serves our purpose, if it lasts until it serves our purpose, we call it is good, it is valuable, and it is full of essence. It is Atta. But there's nothing in this world that serves our purpose. See, we created an eye, we created two eyes, 2 ears, a nose, a tongue, and a body and a mind. And we think that this is Atta because we think that it serves our purpose. But in reality, everybody meets their maker, or when they die, what happens? the thing that you have created did not serve your purpose. Is there anybody in this world who is saying, I completed my purpose of getting gratification or getting blissfulness from my eyes? I completed it. Now I have completed 50% of it. So I only have another 50, and in few more years, I would be able to satisfy my eyes. And that would end, and my purpose, the purpose of the eye, would end. So this is essence, full of essence. That is the same for ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. But there's nobody in this world who has said like that. You cannot say that. Even 1% of the eye is not satisfied. You cannot satisfy your eye. Instead, what happens? It deteriorates. The viparinama lakkhana would occur. It would subject to viparinama, and gradually the eye would end. It is ending right now. It is deteriorating right now. And if something is like that, now we are initially we'll talk about the gross picture. In the gross picture, it would end. Let's say you live 80 years. At the end of 80 years, you could not fulfill your task, but your eyes are gone. You cannot see the external world. Before that, at 70, cataract has formed in your eyes. Now you can't see. Your eyesight is very weak, and now everything is deteriorating rapidly. And still your mind craves for images. That is not deteriorated. That is there. The craving for images is there. But the object that you created for that is not living up to its or having its standards, and so we are disappointed. If it does not serve its purpose, then how can we say it's full of essence? So we say, when there's a big warranty on something, let's say we buy a washing machine or a mattress, and they say that you have we guarantee that for 10 years nothing would happen to this mattress. If something happens, we would give another one for free of charge. When that is the claim, you would buy that, because you think that for 10 years your purpose, or that the purpose of the mattress is that has met its standard. You have achieved your will, or you have achieved the purpose. You would think like that, and that is why you, in your subconscious mind, you would buy the mattress which has 10 years warranty or guarantee. But what happens if it does not serve its purpose? It just gets deteriorated, or it gets destroyed in only 2 months. You would say this is a piece of useless junk. You would not like that. So likewise, these eyes did not serve the purpose of its creation. You created it for something, and it did not complete the purpose. It is the same for ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Now, this is a gross picture. If you see the fine picture, it is deteriorating right now. Whatever you created out of seeing an image, as soon as the eyes and images are met, a chakku vinyana is created. Now you wanted the chakku vinyana. That is why you created the eye. That is why you bought the image, or you bought the television. You wanted to experience blissful images. But images come in the form of Vedana. So when that is the case, the Vedana does not last even 1 second or even 1 moment. It is, as soon as it is generated, it is deteriorated, creating suffering. So even the Chakku Vijnana is essenceless. It does not serve the purpose. That is why we have to go after it with raga. You are wandering after the blissful images because as soon as they get created, they are deteriorated. It does not last. Again, the Chakku Sampasa is also like that. When you touch, the touch also happens when the causes are created, when the two objects are met together, touch is created. As soon as it gets created, it is gone. Again you have to create it. Again you have to create it. And thus creating Vedana. And that's Vedana also, the story of Vedana also the exact same. So for Rupa, for images, or Chakku, and Rupa, and Chakku Vijnana, Chakku Sampasa, and Chakku Sampasaja Vedana. For all the 5 items coming from eyes and related with vision, you cannot achieve the purpose. Instead, they deteriorate and they end up in destruction or end up getting destroyed, leaving a disappointed person. That is the same for Sota and hearing and Saddha. Sota Vijnana, Sota Sampasa, and Sota Sampasaja Vedana. That is the same for Jivha. That is the same for Ghana. That is the same for Kaya. And that is the same for Mano. And all the 5 modalities of them. So that creates 30 modalities. And that is the world. If you see, world is the combination of these 30 items. And now we see the world is anatta. You can be a millionaire, a multimillionaire, a billionaire. You have all the money in the world. But if you get Alzheimer's, if you get whatever the uncurable disease in the world, or if you get, we all the people in the world is subjected to the uncurable disease which is aging. When that happens, no matter how much money you have, it is anatta, essenceless. What can they do? You created all this money for your survival or for the blissful survival. To watch images, what else can we do? We cannot create another indriya or another organ and buy and attach another organ and do or experience another thing. We have to experience with, everybody has to experience with these 6 modalities: hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking. Except these 6, you don't have another modality. Since that is the case, regardless of how much money you have, you cannot fulfill the need, cannot feel the craving of, or you cannot satisfy these 6 organs. When you get old, even though you are a multimillionaire, when you get old, when you are in the deathbed, even 1 penny, even $1 cannot save you. So is anything about that money is essential? No, they are essenceless. No essence. They cannot do anything. So if you can remember, when the COVID-19 pandemic was there at its peak and it hit Italy, people in Italy who had money threw them out of their windows, saying, money cannot do anything. Money cannot save me. I would die. Out of fear, they understood. They did not understand anatta, but they understood that money cannot do anything. They possibly they might have try to find another solution. If the money cannot do it, what else can save me? Because their vision that this world is valuable and the life is valuable is not going to go away. They would just jump from one thing to other. So if money cannot do it, what else can do it? They would go there. So, however, this is the case. You have to understand that the word is anatta. This is what anatta means. Because of the viparinama lakkhana, there's we cannot stick into anything. Or we cannot have a solid plan. How can we have a solid plan when everything is deteriorated in the next moment? We cannot have a solid plan. It is that senseless. So in the fine picture, we have seen the gross picture, and gross picture is very helpful. This fine picture is also helpful, but initially what helps us most is the gross picture. Grossly, what anatta means. Even a multimillionaire cannot have his or her own expectation met, because this world is full of anatta. All of them will end up getting disappointed at the end. Either the money they created would end, or either the body that they created to enjoy that money would end. One or the other would happen earlier. Both would end. However, both would end, but one would come earlier than the other, and that is pain and suffering. So if you have understood that part, you can focus on the finer aspect as well. You understand the gross aspect, then you can focus on the fine aspect. Even the Vedana would not last even a single second. Just a moment and it is gone. And even this body would not last, let's say the body right now is perfectly fine, and I would love to have this body for my entire sansar, like this, without any change. Can you have that? No. In this moment, when you open your mouth, when you are closing your eyelids, when you are blinking, when you are taking, or when you are when you are doing the act of respiration, this body changes. This body is getting old. This body changes. The older body is gone and deteriorated. It is no more there. If that was there, again, with we have discussed this in the last question as well, with the ice cube. When the ice cube container is full of ice, you cannot create more ice. You have to remove it. But likewise, you have to this has to be seen with wisdom, not with your eyes, not with your ear. You cannot do it with any other organ. You have to use your wisdom and see, yes, if this did not deteriorate, and if this did not end up in jara marana, how can another posture come to be? Another posture is impossible. You would be stuck in this posture, in this mindset, without being able to do anything at all. That's not the case, and that is the final level of anatta. So that is anatta. So now we discussed in the last week about anicca, dukkha, and anatta. And maybe not in the last week, but during a previous week, about how it is not suitable to take it as me, mine, or myself, my soul. So the me, mine, and my soul all are connected with Asmi man. So when you see anicca, dukkha, anatta, what is getting depleted from your mind is avijja, or in other words, the asmi mana. It is getting deteriorated gradually. When the understanding of anicca is getting stronger, vice versa is happening, which is the asmi mana is getting depleted. The strongness of it is getting reduced. So when you need, then you know about when the understanding about anicca is increasing, you would understand more and more that you cannot tell. It is not suitable to take this as me. It is not suitable because this is a anicca process. This is a cause and this is a cascade of causes and effects. How can I say this as me? Yes, you can call it me for the sake of calling, but in the understanding, you cannot call it me with the understanding that this can be controlled according to your expectations, according to a expectation of a person called me is not visible. It is a lie. And that when you understand that, a part of Asmimana would be gone. And again, it is not suitable to take this body and mind as mine. When you take this as mine, you are taking something that is not belonging to you as mine, because it is anicca, dukkha, anatta. You have no control over it whatsoever, and you don't have any uh, you don't have you are not going to experience any blissfulness through it. You are not going to hold on to it forever. It would deteriorate and die, and that is just a part of the nature. It is like you are saying that this part of the nature is mine. No, it is belonging to the nature, and you are just thinking that it is yours. When the other people also says, yes, yes, this is that person's land, then the ditti becomes stronger, or the view becomes stronger. Let's say you have a piece of land, and there's a document that says that this land belongs to you, and you have a ditti that, but this is a part of the world, this is a part of the nature, and you think that it is yours, and there's a document saying that this is yours. What if nobody else believes that? Even the government does not believe, even the neighbors, even your closest friends, nobody, none believes that this land belongs to you. Then if that is the case, your thought that this land belongs to you would just make you a insane person. Others would say that you are crazy, you should be put in the mental hospital or something, because others also aligning with your viewpoint, with your delusional idea. Yes, yes, this person has all the documents that is his land. Then you would think, yes, this belongs to me. But in reality, this does not. It is just a mental construct, just a delusional idea that these things belongs to us. Again, these eyes, which was created out of nature from the mother's womb, and and getting nutrition from the external world, and maintained throughout the lifetime. We think that this is ours, just like the land. How can we say this is ours? It is just a part of nature. It does not belong to a specific person. So, if this belongs to a specific person, when we divide and find with Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Patavi, we would be able to find the part that really belongs to us. But when we divide, we understand Apo does not belong to us, Tejo does not belong to us, Vayo or Patavi do not belong to us. What is the part that belongs to us? And you cannot identify, you cannot isolate that part. That is what you need to understand with dukkha. That is dukkha. When you say that something, now that person is full of dukkha, the person who has that land, because everybody says that this land does not belong to you. So everybody here is the nature. Nature says this is anicca dukkha anatta. It does not belong to you. But we think that it belongs to us. And that viewpoint is indeed suffering. It is just like others saying, this land does not belong to you, when you have the idea that this is my land. It is suffering, mental torture. Why are these people saying that this land does not belong to me? I have all the documents, I can prove. But even the government is not listening. Even the court system is saying, no, this does not belong to you. It's suffering. Just like that. It is full of dukkha. So that is why it is not suitable to take these things as mine, nothing as mine. Then the third one is anatta. And we already discussed this. How can we say? This body, it deteriorates moment by moment as me. Because it is after one moment, it is something other than the last one. It is a cascade of causes and effects. The last effect is different from the following effect. So what are we going to call? What are we going to call me or my soul? Where's the constantly happening thing? Constantly constant non-deteriorating, constant, and solid thing. Where is that? There's nothing. Everything deteriorates. So how can we express this is me? It is a illusional view that comes from the I. Because when we take input from the I, we see the same person going here and there, talking and doing stuff, but it is an illusion. When that is happening, in reality, you are deteriorating. The person next, it is just a cascade of causes and effects. That is, when you understand that, you see, now this cannot be taken as my soul as well. So now, when these all three are seen, because when one sees anicca, he sees dukkha and anatta. When one sees dukkha, anatta and anicca are seen as well. And that is the same for the last anatta as well. So when you see anatta, you are seeing anicca and dukkha. And you are seeing it is not suitable to take this as me, mine, or my soul, or myself. So that is the that is the deterioration of Asmi man. When you have the viewpoint that this is me, this is mine, and this is my soul, and this is me, one big solid piece which lasts for a certain amount of time. Someone would say it lasts from birth to death. That is ucheda ditti. And someone would say this lasts from throughout whole sansara. That is sasata ditti. Whatever it is, you have that viewpoint, that wrong idea would grow and would become stronger if you have avijja and if you don't know about anicca dukkha anatta. So it is anicca dukkha anatta, all three, that helps to reduce or remove asmi man. So that is why we are actually, when we do vipassana, we are focusing on anicca, dukkha, anatta, because that hits the end point as well. That is why in one sutta, when a bhikkhu asks what needs to be done to become Sotapanna, Supreme Buddha answers, see this world as anicca, dukkha, anatta. See this panchaskandha, or the five aggregates as anicca, dukkha, anatta. So then after becoming Sotapanna, what do I need to do to become Sakadagami? Same answer was given. And for Anagami, same answer was given. What do we need to do to become Arihat? Again, the same answer was given. What do we need to do after becoming Arihat? Again, the same answer was given. That is for blissful, blissful lifetime. After becoming Arihat, to live the life blissfully. That is why that is why an Arihat would do it even after becoming Arihat. He is just reminding himself of what the world was like and what he got rid of by seeing anicca, dukkha, anatta. So that is why it is needed to that is why we need to focus on anicca, dukkha, anatta to get rid of all the 10 sanyojana, dasa sanyojana. So last 3 of dasa sanyojana are mana, uddhacha, avijja. So when you practice anicca, dukkha, anatta, it would get there, or it would to destroy these bonds that bind us to the sansaric suffering. So that is the answer. I hope that the question was answered appropriately, adequately. If there's any questions regarding the 2 questions that we have discussed, it is time to post them. Yeah, that might happen. That these things, the level of these chetasika, the bad ones, would start to reduce. It would become weaker and weaker, and when you become sotapanna, one part of it is totally eliminated, because you cannot go to 4 hells after becoming a sotapanna. So that level of those chaitasika would be gone. So that is according to my understanding. Yeah, you can say that. And there's a second question. I'd like to clear up the concepts. Commonly known Atta as Asmi Mano. No, you can Atta, in that sense, the Atta means the soul. So that is a different thing. So that is why it is said you cannot get the you cannot understand this Pali with only the book dictionaries and everything. You have to have the Artha Dharma Nirukti Patibhana, otherwise you would get lost, because Nama-rupa has several meanings, Vijnana has several meanings, and the way that we refer to a scientific book is totally different from how we refer to this Tripitaka, because in Pali Canon it is understood only when the wisdom is opened. Otherwise, you would, and that is also for a person who has the Sivapisimbhya Jnana, Artha Dharma Nirukti Patibhana. So, if somebody with Artha Dharma Nirukti Patibhana deciphers these codes or sutta that are there in the Tripitaka, then we are able to understand, and then we are able to understand more deeply. Even the things that he might have not is explains, because that develops wisdom in ourselves, open up the eyes of wisdom, and with that eyes of wisdom, when we see, when we refer, we understand more. So here, when the Atta is used in Tripitaka, in some places, it is used in the idea or with the idea soul. Atta is equal to soul. So when you have the concept of soul, you have the mana, you have the concept of me, mine. So if you have the concept of me, you have the concept of mine, because if there's somebody named me, who can control these things according to the expectation, then I can have things according to my expectation. So they become my things. So you have the me and then mine, and so there must be something constant throughout a time period that lasts throughout that time period, and that is that concept or that item which cannot be seen, which might be they think that these things are unseen, cannot be touched, cannot be felt. Sometimes with various viewpoints they say that this is the name is given, and that name is soul, Atta, and that is what becomes Atmimana. So if you have that concept, if somebody have that concept, that is called Asmimana. So concept of Atta is the concept of soul. Concept of Atta, Anatta. Atta means essence, and Anatta means there's no essence, essenceless. That is another explanation for Atta and Anatta. So these are two explanations, and you have to take the relevant explanation considering the context. When somebody, or when a sutta explains the word is anicca dukkha anatta, that does not explain about a soul or anything, that explains about essenceless nature. But in some suttas it says these brahmanas, or the other disciples of other teachers would say that this rupa is atta. Now at that point they are saying that rupa has now when we are explaining the visati with the sakkaya ditti, rupa is atta. Atta, rupa is in the atta. Atta is in the rupa. Rupa is atta. Atta is rupa. Those are the four modalities of viewpoints in Savisati with the Sakkaya. One of the four, and that is there for Vedana. Vedana is Atta. Atta is Vedana. Atta is inside the Vedana. Vedana is inside the Atta. Likewise, that is there for Sanya, Sankara, and Vijnana. That creates 20 viewpoints. And in those explanations, this Atta is compared with, or explained in the context as soul. Soul means the concept of there's mana or asmi mana. There's something called me, that is Nitya Sukata Sukha. So we are not going to say that there's nothing called me, because that would get us into one end. That is not the case. We are saying there's no me in the it is not suitable to take this as me, because there's no evidence whatsoever to say this compilation me, because you have no control over it according to the expectations, and you don't have any or you don't have a solid one big piece that lasts for a certain time. It is just process that deteriorates, or cause or a cascade of causes and effects. So how can we say this as there's no good evidence? So with wisdom only we see it is not suitable to take this as me, mine, or my soul. So that is the understanding you have to have. So I think that is clear in this in the above the first one. It says but the concept of atta is essence and full. Yes, that is wrong here. The atta in some sutras, it is not the explanation that is given. In some sutras anatta and atta means this word is not atta means it is not full of essence. It is essenceless. But in some suttas that which especially explains about the concept of soul, the atta means soul. And you should not mix these two together. And if that was done, you would not be able to understand from suttas anyway. So you have to understand these are two separate words, just having the same sound, but having two separate, totally separate meanings. In one, it is one's meaning. Asara katten anattan asara katten nanti is the meaning given by the Atua written by Sariyut Thero for anatta. So that is one. Attahi attano nato kohi nato parosiya. In that, the word is used. Tama, what when we translate it, there's no help for you other than your help or your own help. You are helping yourself. You don't have any other's help. You have to help yourself. That is the meaning of attahi attano nato kohi nato parosiya. So in that the meaning, the here you have given the two meanings 1 and 2. So here at that first meaning has been taken, soul. So because when we talk, we have to take these words, otherwise we are not being able, we cannot talk without these words. It is the avidya that we have to eliminate, not the words. So words are being used. Attahi attano nato kohi nato parosiya. So there's nobody that is going to help us other than we are going to help ourselves. So that is the meaning. So in that gatha, in that gatha, the first meaning or the soul is the meaning you have to apply. You cannot apply the essence here to explain that gatha. Attahi attano nato. So it does not make any sense if you apply essence there. So this is the two meanings of atta. So I hope that is settled.
Thero, may I post a question onto that same point? Maybe one is just sharing a thought that you what I meant to say, Thero, is in the context of when we say anatta or
Yes.
no essence, and or when we say, even when we take the case of the other meaning, you say something atmiya or soulful is to something that is valuable, etc. So at the end of the day, either through both routes, you understand the same concept.
Yeah.
But it's meaning, that's correct to say, right?
Yeah, that's right. So that is why we explained about anicca dukkha anatta, connection of anicca dukkha anatta with the idea of not suitable to take it as me, mine, or my soul. So these are interconnected in that way.
Also, Thero, I think you mentioned an important point where Lokohamdro Vaharaka Thero says these are sutra, not vistara, or like you just mentioned a little while ago, they are condensed versions and not explained versions which we find in the Tripitaka. So someone with Artha Dharma Nirukti Patibhana can only sort of expand it to a deeper, or I don't know, deeper is the right word, but further explain it. So maybe that is good to keep in mind when we are referring to Tripitaka, because they are in some sense condensed within these key or coded. So that's where you sometimes find these. So I don't know the right words in English, but Vaharaka Thero says Sutra Vistara as maybe you can further touch on the point you mentioned there, Thero, since most of our audience does refer to Tripitaka regularly.
Yes, yes. So actually, in Tripitaka, actually these sutras, when Supreme Buddha preached them, they were not called as sutta. They were just sermons, and they were very big, not easy to remember. And only a person like Ananda Thero could remember these things without missing a word. But when they decided to take this from mouth to mouth, the person to person, uh, from the generation downwards. So when they decided to do that, you have to have a specific pattern. That's why if you read the Tripitaka, you understand there's a very similar pattern. Sometimes they are repeated, and that is because only the essence. And this was discussed over 6 months or 9 months, as I can remember, during the council, during the first council. All the supreme Arihat Theros were gathered, and they decided how to minimize, or how to sip, how to compile these Dhamma teachings into smaller, concise versions. And when they did that, they did not since they were very elite arihats, they did not corrupt the meaning. They did not change the meaning. Without changing, with their Artha Dharma Nirukti Patibhana, they minimized, or they concised it, they reduced it, they summarized it, and they made suttas. And these suttas can, since they have the knowledge to decipher these suttas, they knew if somebody like them, or somebody with the wisdoms that they have, if somebody like that is born or created with Dhamma in the future, that person would be able to decipher these meanings without any trouble, because they have that wisdoms. With the wisdom, they write what they cannot understand. With the wisdom, only Supreme Buddha can understand. That level was written because with their wisdom they cannot understand. So Vaharakatero gives a good example for that. So in this era, we just say, wear this trouser. You say the person, this is a trouser, and you may wear it, and this person wears the trouser. And let's say maybe uh, 5,000 years ago, there was no trouser. There were no trousers, and people did not know what a trouser means. So if you give a person a trouser and ask that person to wear this trouser, he would not know how to wear it. He would just put it in his head, or he would just put his hands from the on the places where the legs go, or he would do it in an absurd way because he does not know. For a person at that era, you would have to say, wear this trouser. You have to put one leg in the place where the leg goes, and the other leg in the other place, and you have to drag it up to your waist, and you have to buckle, or you have to attach or fix it to your waist. So that would be needed. So likewise, when you have a wisdom, you don't write what is there, even already there in the wisdom. Just like when you are saying a person to wear the trouser at this era, you would not say that you have to wear it like this, because you know exactly that this person, he knows how to wear a trouser. So I just have to say, wear this. So he would wear it in a good, correct way. But getting that analogy for the arihats, so arihat with a artha dhamma nirukti patibhana would exactly know, because they have the wisdom. They know how to wear the trouser, just like that. They know how to do it. So another Arihat with the same knowledge, understanding also would know how to do it. So they don't have to say that part in the book. So they knew that. So they what did they do was they just wrote the things that they cannot understand with their already having wisdom, because you need a sarvajna wisdom, or a wisdom of a supreme Buddha to understand that level. So that cannot be understood with their wisdom, so they wrote it. So when somebody like them was there in the future, that person also would be able to understand the exact thing that was said, because that person also is helpless without the Supreme Buddha's teaching. So that comes. So since he knows how to wear the trouser, does it in the correct way, because he has that knowledge, he has that wisdom in him, because he has the Artha Dharma Nirukti Patipana. It is like a person who is 5,000 years ago, or a person who was born 5,000 years ago. They are like us. We don't know. We don't have the Dharma Nirukti Patipana. So we see the trouser, and we know the trouser is good, and it helps to cover our body, but we don't know how to wear it. So we wear it on the head. We put our hands or arms through the places where the legs go, and we do various kinds of things and try to wear it, and it does not serve the purpose. So that's what happens. But when a person with Artha Dharma Nirukti Patipana comes and deciphers it, he says, no, no, you should not wear it like this. This is how the trouser is worn. Then we know, then we can wear. So that is an example that I can give to explain this. I hope that is clear.
Thank you very much, Thero. I think it's always good to sometimes touch upon these aspects as well, especially because for a larger audience, the Tripitaka is what is available. I think as one understands Dhamma and the eyes of Dhamma opens, also some of them are able to decipher to some extent. Thero, I think we have a question maybe on the same note was earlier. Maybe we can take it up together.
Is it okay to know that Atta is used separately in the above two meanings? Yes, you can have that understanding, but know that soul is also is taken because of essenceless nature. That these are connected in that way. See, now we discussed why we should not take it as me, mine, or my soul. And why you should not take this as my soul is because of anatta. So anatta and soul are connected. But when explaining, these words are used in a way. These words, this word atta is used in a way to show that there's the word soul, and soul is the wrong word. So it is a wrong understanding. That is why it is coming. It is connected with Atta, because Atta is a wrong understanding. Anatta is the correct understanding. So there's a bit of a connection in this. If you think deeply. So I think all the questions were answered, and I think there's a thing that I wanted to tell you about the how to ascend in this pathway. This is an ascending pathway. This is like a staircase. So if I write, if I get this on, screen on. This is the ascending pathway like this. So let's say this is a normal person, and this is a Sotapanna person. This is the level where you achieve Sotapanna. And up above is the Ariyatangika Magga. Up above, this is end, and up from Sotapanna. Oh, we can say from the Sotapanna stream enterer. This is the Ariyatangika Magga that you follow. So here, from here, when you go upwards, this is a person who do all the 10 unwholesome acts. Unwholesome acts are done by this person. That means he hurt when he wants to hurt, he steals, he have sexual misconduct, and lies, slander, use harsh words, meaningless words, gossip, and do all the things, and mischievous and greedy, and also malevolent or malicious thoughts. He's with malicious thoughts and have all the wrong, distorted viewpoints about the world. And this is this wrong person. And when he wants to go up until here, and here let's say Sotapanna stream enter again up, you have to make your mind up to that level. Only then you would be able to understand that as well. So stream enter. So when you are here, you have to have these soft qualities in order to become qualified to attain to become an Arya person. So what are the soft qualities that you have to have? So this person, when you have 10 unwholesome deeds, that is with lobha, dosa, and moha. These are the three components that creates these 10 unwholesome acts. So you have to change that to laukika. That means worldly alobha, adosa, and amoha. You have to get rid of those wrong, distorted viewpoints. You have to become a generous person. Yes, you have these ideas that I may get back. I may be born in a realm of deities because of this. This everything could be there. You have various kinds of wishes after doing these things. The worldly wishes, may I have a peaceful and good life, may I have luxurious life, may I get all the luxuries in the world. After giving things, you would have that. But you are eliminating lobha, dosa, and more. You have the adosa. You are helping others, you are kind to others, you are caring about others, and all these qualities are generated. When that is there, maybe most of you already had that, because if you found Arya Dhamma a soothing and a very helping, a blissful pathway, and if you have that viewpoint already, you may be a person, you might have been a person who had these qualities, and you might be a person who did not have these qualities at all, when even from the beginning of this life. Maybe that's the case, maybe that is not. However, since you have come this far, you have changed. I am just showing the way that you have changed. So alobha, adosa, amoha, that is worldly, not the lokottara thing, but the laukika way. So with that, when you have these, you have to have these soft qualities. So when you have alobha, you are giving people, you are helping others, you are just not ignoring another person who needs help. And you are giving the best. So for a humanly sankara and for a godly sankara, there's a slight difference in the alobha. So when you have alobha and when you have the humanly alobha, you are just measuring and giving the lesser thing. Say you have two pieces of cake and one is big and one is small, and you have the alobha. You give one piece, but you give the small one. You keep the big one for yourself. That is humanly. That is not godly. You give things, but you give the old ones. You give the used ones. You give the lesser important ones, and that is how humanly mind works. So you measure and you keep the best for you and give the rest for others. And when you go above that, when you become a godly person or a godly power, when you generate a godly power, you keep the smaller one. This is enough for me. I'll give the big one for the others, and you give the big one for the others, and and you become happy about it. You are not doing it um, um, because uh, because somebody is saying it. You are giving it and you are genuinely happy about it. I gave the bigger piece to the other person and he was very happy that he received a big piece of cake. And likewise, you are giving the best for the others and you are keeping the rest for yourself, because your level of lobha is reduced that much to a level of godly bhava. So that is the alobha. And when the adosha comes, you are not hurting others. You are not saying even a word to hurt others. So now this is the extreme levels of the worldly alobha dvesa moha. This might not be the level that anybody has, but these are soft qualities that would even help until the last palas, or sota, panna, sakadagami, anagami, even the arihat magga. These soft qualities would help. These these things would create the background for our understanding, because we are pure. That is what is called as a calm and quiet mind. You become a calm and quiet mind. You when you think about what you have done, the good things you have done, that itself would generate the dhyanas. That is called silanusati. Silanusati would when you think about the kaya metta kaya kamma, metta vachi kamma, metta mano kamma, the background for you to understand Dhamma or the dhyana would occur, and all the necessary background would occur. And this alobha, again, you are helping others. You are kind to others. When someone is in need, you are going and helping, and you have those kinds of qualities, alobha dosa, and you have the amoha quality. You are seeing, you know that there are consequences when you do good. When you do bad, there are bad consequences. You know that there's a afterlife. And this is a sansaric journey. You know about uh, uh, the previous life, this life, and the afterlife. And you know there are 10 items in this, the 10 views of dasavastuka mityaditti, and you have the correct view about them all. And when that is the case, you are a eligible person to enter here. And when you understand when you hear anicca dukkha anatta from a noble person, you have to it have to come from a noble individual, anatta. So because it has to come from the supreme Buddha, or one of his disciples. When that comes, you become a stream enterer. When you see nibbana as nicca sukata subha, you become a sotapanna. That is anulomak shanti and sammata niyama. So you see the both sides. You become, you know where to go, you know what to achieve, you know everything about the pathway. You know it, but you haven't still gone up. You have all the things to do right now. That is now this is a new journey that is going to begin. So after this, when you attain there here, and when you become Sotapanna, or when you have the idea, now that I have understanding about Dhamma, I know what to do, I know what to achieve, then you have to actively do it. If you haven't achieved, that would be the pathway to achieve. If you have achieved, that would be the rest of the pathway. What do we need to do? It is said, since you are reading Tripitaka, I would give the reference. There's a sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya called, in the third book, Uparipannasaka, called Ganaka Moggallana Sutta. Now this is originally an explanation done based on bhikkhus or theros, sangha, the bhikkhu sangha, but there are a lot of things that we can get into our lives when we are practicing the pathway. First one, the Ganaka Moggallana comes and asks from the Supreme Buddha. Now, when we are doing something, there's a pattern, there's an ascending pathway. When you are taming, let's say you are taming an elephant, you are taming a horse. You have a course for that. You have a guide, step-by-step course to do that. So likewise, he asks from Supreme Buddha whether there's a course or a step-by-step guidance pattern in Arya Dhamma. And Supreme Buddha says, yes, there's a step-by-step pattern in Arya Dhamma. So, and he explains, Supreme Buddha explains after that. In here, the first one is you have to discipline according to Siksha. Now that is for a bhikkhu. Now what is the alternative here? You have to get rid of all the 10 unwholesome acts. That is the first thing. 10 unwholesome acts. You have to get rid of this. So you are refraining from doing any sinful acts. That is the first one. Without that, you cannot talk about the rest of the pathway, because this is a cause and effect world based on causes and effects. You cannot implement your expectations here. You cannot control it according to your expectations. So you might think, no, I am doing this and still following the Arya pathway. No, you cannot do it. You first have to get rid of all the 10 unwholesome acts. Second one, Indriya Bhavana, Indriya meditation. That is the second one. What is the Indriya meditation? Indriya meditation is when you see things, when you hear things, when you smell things, when you taste things, when you touch things, when the touch is coming to you, and when the thoughts are coming to you. You have to discipline these 6 organs. You have to know what increases the Raga Dvesha Moha, what decreases the Raga Dvesha Moha. And you have to associate with things that reduce the Raga Dvesha Moha and eliminate or get rid of the things that increase the Raga Dvesha Moha. When you see an image, if it is a karma image, you should get rid of that. You should not actively watch. You saw it. That is, there's nothing to do about it. You just saw it, but you should not actively go after it. Actively use your ear to listen to it. Actively use your smell, and you just should not go there and smell it. You should not go there and taste it and think that it is valuable and niche sukata super. You should not actively go after that that touch. Then you should not actively go after that thought and think about it over and over again. So likewise, you have to discipline your indriya. When you do that, the third one comes. That is the food. When you take food, if you maybe since you know about Pali, Neva Davaya, Namadaya, Namandanaya, Navibhusanaya, Yavadevi Masakaya Satitya, Yapanaya Vihinsu Paratya, Brahmacharya Nughaya, Iti Puranancha Vedanam Patihankami, Navancha Vedanam Upadesami, Yatra me Bhavisati, Anavajatacha Pas Viharo Chati. Would be your understanding before taking food. That is, you are not taking this food for fun, to build up your body, or to make your body a good, beautiful one, or to um, for 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 worldly activities, to generate energy for worldly activities, to become strong. No, not for any of these things, but to get rid of this pain named hunger, and to be satisfied, to satisfy your body, so that you can practice the Arya without any discomfort. That is why I am taking this one, this food, not for anything else. Would be these are extreme actually, because these were explained to monks originally. But you can, according to your understanding, according to your level of practice, according to your dedication, you can apply these things to your practice as well. The Indriya meditation, according to your capabilities, is a must. Again, you have to get rid of all the 10 unwholesome acts. That's a must. So the food level would come gradually, and the next one is what we are addicted. The next mostly is the sleep. So the next one is sleep. So these come from why I put numbers is these come one after other. Uh, so initially you have to achieve the first one, then the second one. While achieving the second one, you can go to the third one and to the fourth one. So when you are excessively sleeping, that is not good for Arya pathway. So you have to be aware that you are sleeping too much, or you are having an adequate sleep. You have to have an adequate sleep. That is not going to fail you in the Arya pathway. But the excessive sleep, when things are excessive, that is not going to help. Even whether it is sleep, even whether it is food, even whether it is something else, when it is excessive, it is not going to help anything. So again, even the virya, when it is excessive, it is not going to help. When it is less, it is also not going to help. You have to have the exact necessary level. And then the fifth one, it says, now your mind is ready for what do we call the Arya meditation. Now this is where the Anapanasati starts. Oh, actually, this is where the dhyana meditation starts. For some people, you would do dhyana, and you would prefer that pathway. For some people, you would not prefer, or you would not, you would prefer the other pathway, which is the wisdom pathway of wisdom. So, however, whatever the pathway is, you can now. If you have achieved so far, now you can practice, because now your mind has become an arana. Rana means your mind is full of conflict, and your mind is going here and there, because it is like a busy market. Now you have become an arana, so the opposite of it. So aranya gatova. Now your mind has become a Rukha Mula. The upper top part of the tree is always moving where the wind blows. It moves when the wind blows from right to left. The branches are also moving to that direction. So likewise, the upper part of the tree is not still, but the Rukha Mula, which is the lower part of the tree, is very still, because you are refraining from 10 unwholesome acts, and because you are accepting the Indriya meditation, you are mind now has become a Rukkamula. And your mind is now a Sunyagara. Your mind is not going here and there just like an untamed animal, because you are disciplined it with Indriya meditation. Now your mind has become a Sunyagara. Now you have to get rid of the mana, which is, you have to get rid of the ego, which is the superiority complex, and you have to become just like a doormat, so that you become very, very humble. And when you become humble, that is Sunyagargatoa Nisidati Pallankang Abhujitva. Now that you have achieved that, then Panida Ujunkayang. Ujunkayang means your kaya actions, or actions done with body are straight. They are not unwholesome. They are wholesome. They are very, very straight, and they are very, very wholesome, good. So when you achieve that level, Ujunkayam Panidaya Parimukang Sating Pattapetva, that means Parimukha. So you have to keep your sati, or you have to be mindful about Nibbana. You are thinking about Nibbana, your focus is towards Nibbana. And when that is the case, you have already created all the background for the meditation. Now, this is not, we are we are not saying that there's nothing called the physical physical, what do you call, the you are going to get ready getting ready physically for the meditation. Not that that part is not there, it is there, but the most important part is this preparation, that the preparation we discussed right now. So you have Panidaya Parimukang Sating Upattapetva So Sato Asasati Sato Pasasati. That is what we are going to do. Now we are going to eliminate Raga Dvesha Moha. When we have all the bad addictions, deep addictions, we have to use it, use this Anicca Dukkha Anatta extensively. When you do it extensively, we call it Digang Vasasanto Digang Asasamiti Pajanati. And when you do it, when you eliminate those bonds extensively, you call it Digangva Pasasanto Digam Pasasamiti Pajanati. And when you when those are becoming smaller ones, or when this become these things become weaker and weaker, and again there are other weaker addictions, those are you have to apply it with Rasangva Rasang Asasamiti Pajanati. So you are applying it not extensively but mildly. Again, the other part, the vice versa is there. And likewise, you are now developing Indriya or the Anapanasati. When that happens, the dhyana would occur. That is a result. You are not going to go after them. Just like when there's a prince, then and this prince is the heir to the throne, you don't have to go after the jewelries. You don't have to go after the royal dress, or the crown, or the other royal jewels. You don't have to go after them. You have to only go after the kingship. You have to become the king. You have to work for it. You have to be a good leader. You have to learn for it. You have to be a good a person who can do good, who is good at combat. So likewise, you are just learning to become a king. You are not going after jewels, because even though you receive the jewels, or you do not get the royal dress, regardless of that, you would become king. You are the people of the state or the nation would not ignore you, saying that you don't have the royal dress. With the royal dress or not, you are a king. So likewise, you just don't have to go after these dhyanas. You just have to do the necessary things. You just have to create the causes, so the other phala would occur. You don't have to go after phala, because that would not do anything good. because that is not how Aryavatya works. You have to know that this is anicca. Only the hetum paticca sambhutang would occur when the hetu are created. The corresponding phala would occur. There's nothing other than that we can do. So we do that, and when the result occur, we are okay with it. Okay, I don't care whether I have the jewels or not. I have the royal dress or not. I am the king. I don't have a problem. But if you become a thief, you cannot become the king. So you go after the jewels. So only thing you are going after, you are thinking about is jewels. So or the royal dress. So you become not a king but a thief. So you have to know how to follow the or do this or follow this pathway. So when you do this, when you actively participate, when you actively do this, that is the only way to develop your wisdom, or increase your wisdom. Already having wisdom, the only way to polish your wisdom. So if you want to check, go and read Na Chetana Karaniya Sutra. It says Sila, it develops when a person is developing this background. You are becoming disciplined, you are becoming getting rid of all the unwholesome acts and everything, and you become disciplined. When you do that, Sila would be the result of Sila would be the Avipatisara. Avipatisaro. Avipatisaro is you become calm and quiet. It is just like a water surface. When all the stones are falling on the water, you have a very agitated water surface. But when the water is calm and quiet and all the stones are not coming into the water, the water surface become very, very calm and quiet and very still. That is Avipatisaro. Avipatisara, the result of Avipatisara is Pramoda. Pamoda. Pamodo. Pamoda. And then the Preeti would occur. Pasadi would occur. Sukha would occur. Samadhi would occur. Then we have discussed this already. The Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana. Then Nibbida. Then Viraga. And Vimukti Jnana Dassana. Vimukti. So this is the end. So when you do this, these things would occur. So Samadhi is just a phala in the middle, or result in the middle. This would occur when you focus on this. So what you have to focus is what we discussed earlier. So when you do that, everything would align. So see now, this one and this one, you cannot, there's a part that you achieve when you listen to Dhamma, because when you listen to Dhamma, Sila is already there. Avipatisara is already there. Your mind becomes calm and quiet, and you become the Preeti, or you become happy and delighted, and your mind become very relaxed, your body become very relaxed, and you could generate the Sukha and Preeti of Dhamma, and there's the Dhamma Samadhi, and that generates the Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana, and that creates Nibbida, or the bonding nature is released. At what level? The four hells. So the bonding nature to the four hells would reduce, and Viraga would happen at that level, and Vimukti Jnana Dassana would occur at that level, and that is called Sotapanna. and the vimukti level is sotapanna. So now this should happen for 3 more times. Sakadagami, Anagami, Arihat. So for these 3 more times, again this should happen. So the sila level should increase. So the aipatisara level should increase, and this should happen. Again, now you know what to do to achieve the next levels of this. You know how to achieve magga jnana dasana. So to do that, you have to follow the pathway. Without following the pathway, there's no other way to attain attain the vimukti, the end of the Arya pathway. So you practice and practice. You follow the pathway. You discipline your actions. You discipline your words. You discipline your thoughts. And when you do that, your Trivida Sucharita is completed. When the Trivida Sucharita is completed, it would create Ayupatisaro. Your mind would become calm and quiet, creating Pramoda and Preeti. That means you are happy and delighted, creating the relaxed nature, then the light nature, lightness in your body and mind, and that would create the Sukha Samadhi, causing the next things. Like a cascade of events. So I hope that is clear. That is what I wanted to explain today. And I think our time has already passed. If you have any questions regarding this discussion that we have already done, if you can post them in the chat.
Thero, a quick, maybe if it's appropriate, an addition to what you just mentioned, would it also make sense to think of it Sila Samadhi, Prajna Sila Samadhi in the context, because you start off with Laukika Sila that develops you to
Yes.
the level of Prajna, which brings you to from there onwards Kusala Sila, right? So it's
Yes.
Sila Samadhi,
If I
would that be?
I can write it down and show you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if it's helpful there, or maybe we can mention that because it shifts gears there, correct?
Yes. So so we discussed about this ladder or the staircase. So it started with a normal good person. So that is the person who can understand this Dhamma. A criminal in the criminal state, a criminal can attain Nibbana. Many criminals have attained it, like the Angulimala Thero. But in the criminal state, you cannot. You have to get out of the criminal state. That happened when he is listening to Dhamma at the Supreme Buddha's encounter. So so Sila Samadhi Prajna. So it is going like this. So in the Laukika level, or the normal lay context, you have to have the Sila, and you will have a normal samadhi. In that samadhi, you would know what is right, you would know what is wrong. Other than that, you don't know anything about anicca, dukkha, anatta. And this is the good person, good normal lay person. Good. We say this person. This is a good man. He does not do anything wrong. He's innocent. He's good. He does not do any criminal he does not do any 10 wholesome acts. Maybe occasionally, but most of the time he's a good man. So in that in that context, he listened to Dhamma, and that opened the eyes of wisdom. So if we start from this point, you would say Prajna, Sila, Samadhi. And this is what happens because the Sila and Samadhi changes. Now the Sila here and Samadhi here are totally different from what you achieve here, because the viewpoint and everything is changed when the eyes of wisdom, this is open. When eyes of wisdom are open, everything is changed. So then the Sila becomes solid. this becomes solid, this becomes solid, does not go away even if you die. So in that way, it is prajna sila samadhi. Now, this is when you achieve something, sotapanna. Again, when you achieve sakadagami, again this would happen. Anagami, this would happen. Arihat, this would happen. Why? The pathway. So, in the sotapanna pathway, it is the sila samadhi panya. Again, sakadagami pathway. Sakadagami pathway. It is the sila samadhi panya. Anagami pathway, Arihat pathway. Again, sila samadhi panya. So you develop sila samadhi panya, and at some level panya becomes solid, and that is the level you achieve sakadagami. And that level, what happens is prajna, sila, samadhi. But sila becomes solid, samadhi becomes solid. So when you become anagami, again you falls into anagami pathway. So in the anagami pathway, you again develop sila. You are practicing, you are disciplining your eyes and ears and nose and tongue and body, and the samadhi is developing the Dhamma samadhi, and at one level the prajna becomes solid, and to that solid level the sila becomes solid. Now you don't go after karma anymore, and the samadhi becomes solid. You have the anagami pala samadhi, and the samadhi level is solid, and likewise it goes on. So I hope that is clear. That is what I think Mr. Dilip wanted to explain. Is that it?
Yes, Thero, I just wanted to touch base on the fact that we start from basic sila, as you mentioned, or the normal worldly version, which creates the background for prajna to open. Then the cycle, so that transfer. Just to clarify that a little bit more, since the kusala sila comes in at a point and the cycle goes that way. Just thought that might be helpful since this question was there. And correct there, so that clarifies that. If since there have no other questions that has got posted since that part, Thero, I think we should be able to close the session unless there are any questions that could be posted. If not, we close for today, and further questions could be put to us, and we can take it up next week.
Yes.
Thero, then I kindly invite you to conduct a short anumodana, and we close the session for the day. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So today we discussed a very important topic about how to follow or how to ascend in the rest of the pathway, and also a few questions that you have posted in the chat in the WhatsApp chat. So during these 2 hours and 2.5 hours, we have been using Dhamma, thinking about Dhamma, thinking about the anicca dukkha anatta nature, the senseless nature of this world, and by that we have been using the most important and most rarest concepts of this universe. And by using that, we have generated immeasurable amounts of merits, and these meritorious deeds indeed would help us to eliminate this sansaric journey. And all the meritorious power that everybody has generated by listening to this Arya Dhamma with the utmost respect towards Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha may agglomerate together, creating the perfect environment for everyone to open up their eyes of wisdom, attaining the Sotapanna Phala, and also to complete the rest of the pathway by following the Arya Attangika Magga, and creating all the background for that life and refreshness comfort, power, and wisdom. Completing all these items, may everyone be able to complete the Arya pathway, attaining the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Accept this blessing with the sadhukara.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And also, let us remind all the deceased relations of us and all the ones who have helped us during this sansaric journey, teachers, parents, the ones who helped us in various ways, the ones who constructed our houses, roads, and also workplaces, and the people who gave us jobs and helped us in various ways, and also the ones who were hurted and harmed by us during the sansaric journey without knowing what is right and what is wrong. We may have conducted various unethical things, unimmoral, unwholesome acts towards these sentient beings, hurting them and harming them. And let us acknowledge our faults in this occasion, and let us think about them in this important occasion, and also the ones who helped us have this discussion, the ones who constructed these temples, the ones who are paying for them and maintaining these internet connections and devices and everything, and the ones who joined this discussion from wherever the places that we can see and that we cannot see, and also the deities and gods in the Brahmas and planes of Brahma and the realms of gods, realms of deities. And let us let us mention all the sentient beings in the universe as well. And in this special occasion, let us transfer this meritorious power to them, regardless of wherever they are in this universe. And if they are in miserable places, may they refrain from doing sins. May they replace those sinful acts with meritorious deeds. May they get delighted seeing these meritorious deeds, seeing these Dhamma discussions. May they be happy, generating immeasurable amounts of merits, ultimately understanding the reality of the world, attaining the supreme bliss of Nibbana. And with that thought in mind, transfer this meritorious power to them with metta and kindness with the sadhukara.
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And we are going to end this Dhamma discussion with a blessing, a Pali blessing at the end. Abhivadana siris nichang vatta pichayano chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukhambalang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti minati samichyatu. May everyone attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, Thero, again for spending your valuable time to deliver us the Dhamma talk, as well as to answer our questions and give explanations. And also, thank you very much for the audience for your punctual attendance, as well as for bringing up the questions and making the discussion meaningful. With that, we end the discussion for today. Thank you very much, Thero. Theruvan Saranaya Pahamdurane. Thank you very much, everyone. Theruvan Saranaya.
Theruvan Saranaya, everybody.
Theruvan Saranai.